Hey guys, Adam here with AmericanTrucks.com, and today we're taking a closer look at installing and walking through all the features of the Superchips Flashcal and the amped throttle booster performance package, available for all 08 to 12 4.7 liter Ram 1500s and all 08 to 17 5.7 liter Hemi-equipped Ram 1500s. You should be checking out this package if you're not looking to go all in on a handheld tuner, but looking for a package that's not only going to give you a way better throttle response and acceleration, but also be able to modify your vehicle's ECU to accommodate for larger wheels and tires, correct your speedometer, and take advantage of a number of other features such as gauges and data logging, as well as a DTC code reader. That's a lot of information to take in. Let's talk about it. The Superchips Flashcal option here isn't a handheld tuner, but more so just going to talk to your ECU to adjust for things like tire size, gear ratio, speed limiter, rev limiter, gear ratio, so on and so forth. You can modify all that using the Superchips Flashcal. Now we're running a set of 35s on our Ram 1500. Without this, our speedometer calibration is going to be off. When you increase your tire size an inch, maybe two, it's not too much of a difference. But when you jump from something like a 30-inch tire to a 35, we're talking about several miles per hour your speedometer can be off. So using this device, we can accommodate for that correct speedometer. We can also make other changes like I just mentioned. In addition to that, the Flashcal is going to allow you to take advantage of a code reader. Check engine light comes on, plug this guy in, read the code, get a description, and clear the code, getting rid of the light, all using the Flashcal. Super useful. You can also monitor up to 8 engine vitals at once using the gauges screen. No need for a bunch of different gauge pods on your A-pillar on your dashboard. Plug this guy in, pick up a windshield mount, and mount it in arm's reach. You can monitor things like air-fuel ratio, spark, battery voltage, so on and so forth, all using this in a colored screen. Some of the other ones black and white. This one's got a pretty unique colored screen with a unique handheld device. It's a pretty good shape, kind of ergonomic, fits in your hand pretty well, and it's a little bit skinnier than a smartphone. In addition to that, you're also going to be able to run info, read your VIN number, strategy code, software, firmware version on the device in case it needs updates. So a lot of useful things packed right into a small compact device. Now, because this is not an actual tuner, it's not adding any horsepower. You're not tuning to 93 octane, you're not increasing horsepower and torque, but you're modifying some of those parameters I just mentioned. If you're looking to alter performance, that's why you're looking at the performance pack. What's included is the amped throttle booster. Now this thing, again, isn't adding any horsepower and torque, but instead going to completely change your throttle response. There's a such thing as a drive-by-wire delay. Basically what that means is there's a delay between the time you hit your gas pedal and the time your throttle body opens up and your truck gets going. Now that delay can be, insignificant in some cases, but for the most part, these trucks are a little bit laggy. They're a little bit sluggish. Plugging this guy in, you get not only an increase in several modes, giving you a 50% increase, 75, and a 100% increase, completely eliminating that delay. You're also going to take advantage of extreme mode, which is what we have it on right now, where all 3 LEDs are blinking. This kit does include this switch that displays these LEDs to tell you what mode you're in. Extreme mode is going to increase your throttle response by 400%, which is meant for off-roading. You want to make sure you're taking caution when using extreme mode because it can make a huge difference to your acceleration, getting you off the line quicker than any mode available in any throttle booster in the category. So this one goes beyond just a 100% increase, 400% with extreme mode. In addition to that, you're also going to take advantage of Valet mode, which is decreasing acceleration by 50% if you're handing your keys off to a valet attendant or handing your keys off to maybe your kid if you're teaching them how to drive. Might be a good way to ease them into performance. Now, because this one includes a switch, it's up to you where you mount it. We ran it up the steering column just to sit right here to avoid drilling into our truck, but there is a bracket here with 2 pre-drilled holes to allow you to mount it wherever you want if you want to take advantage of that. The throttle booster and the Flashcal come in together in one package at about 500 bucks. Now that's pretty affordable considering what the prices of some of the other actual handheld tuners are. If you're not looking to tune your truck, you're not looking to toe that line between voiding your warranty and modifying your ECU, this is a great way to go. You're getting all the performance that you would get in modifying your tire size and correcting speedometer. And you're also modifying throttle response and acceleration. 500 bucks gets you everything you see here in the performance pack. Install 1 out of 3 wrenches on our difficulty meter. Anybody can do this in the driveway at home in about an hour's worth of time, maybe even a little less if you have some experience with this. Using this device here, super simple. You can be done with everything on this within 10 minutes. It's that simple. Installing your throttle booster takes a little bit more time, maybe a half hour, 45 minutes. I'm gonna walk you through the install of both devices. So what do you say we get started? Tools used in this install include only a small flathead screwdriver. All right guys, the first step here is to grab your Superchips Flashcal tuner. We're gonna plug this end here into our OBD2 port, which is under the driver's side dashboard here, right in the middle. So we're gonna take this. Once that boots up, we're gonna go right into looking through the options. So from the main menu, you have options, scan, and info. It's really your main menu. Now, because this isn't an actual tuner in the sense that you're gonna add horsepower and torque, what we're gonna do is focus on changing options such as tire size. So we're gonna go ahead and go right into options. We're gonna grab our key and turn our ignition on, but don't actually start your engine. From there, press OK. All right, once it establishes communication with your RAM, with the ECU, it'll take you here. You have running options, vehicle settings, and exit. So we're gonna select running options. You can change your engine idle. You can change some of those options. We're gonna ignore that. I'm just showing you exactly what some of the options are. But if you wanted to change your engine idle, you can do so here. If not, you can hit exit. Vehicle settings gives you a little bit more, which is probably what you're gonna mainly focus on. Tire size, gear ratio, transfer case, TPMS warning, TPMS on or off. You can change some of those settings. What we're gonna focus on here is tire size. Now we're running 35s on our Ram, so whatever your tire size is, if you've changed them, if you have bigger wheels and tires, what you're gonna do is just edit this to inches. We have 35s, so 35 inches. Press OK to save. What it does is it adjusts your speedometer. Anytime you add larger wheels and tires, especially if you go really big like 35s or even 37s, it's going to affect your speedometer accuracy. So what this does is it modifies that, corrects it. So what we're gonna do is turn ignition off, following directions on screen, press continue, and then back on. So this is a pretty important part of owning a set of larger wheels and tires. When your speedometer is inaccurate, you just want to be careful and be safe on the road. So this is a great way to do that. Once it's done tuning your truck, it's adjusting that speedometer, it'll take you right back to that menu. I'm not going to go forward with modifying any of the other parameters, but if you have a different gear ratio, say you upgrade to 410s, whatever the case may be, you can modify that here, and again, it'll make adjustments to the ECU. So it's a really good idea to have on deck. Tire size modified, and boom, there you go. Now, if you don't have TPMS sensors in your larger wheels and tires, you can go down here and turn them off so that TPMS light on your dash goes off. It's kind of annoying to look at. So that's a good thing to take advantage of. So those are some of the options there. We can hit exit, takes us back to those two options, exit again, main menu. So that's really jumping into the tuning aspect of your Flashcal, focusing on the tire size and speedometer recalibration. If you wanted to move forward with some of the other features of the device, you can select to the right, scan. Now that scan tool is focusing on your DTC codes. So the check engine light pops up, don't know what that's about. Plug in your Superchips Flashcal, head over to scan, press OK. You can read the DTCs or diagnostic trouble codes. It'll give you a code and a description for what's throwing that engine light. From there, you can clear it and get that light off. You can also take advantage of gauges and data logging. And this, I think, is one of the options that a lot of guys are going to focus on after having the device plugged in. If you select gauges, it gathers engine vitals and allows you to display them on the screen here up to 8 at a time, 8 at one time. You can press OK. What we're going to do is select fuel trim, CMD fuel ratio, just selecting some random ones that we can track here. Throttle detail, throttle position sensor, throttle actuator. You can monitor a lot of these guys. Oxygen sensors, bank 1. Catalyst temp. Hit start. Confirm. So there you go. Everything that we selected is now displayed in a gauge format. Super easy to read, right there on the screen, live at your fingertips from the driver's seat. So if you want to monitor some of these important engine vitals, you can take advantage of that with this plugged in. Press left and you exit. Press left again and exit. Battery voltage. You can track battery voltage on the fly. This is pretty important. 11.7, 11.8, kind of fluctuating there. Vehicle's not really on, but we have accessories on, so that makes sense. It's under 12 volts. You can monitor that as well. Press OK when completed, and then left to go back to the home screen. So options and scan. Finally, there's info. You can select this, and I'm not going to jump into it, but info would give you things like the software version on your device, your VIN number, your ECU strategy code, things like that that are important to requesting custom tunes later on. If you decided to pick up a handheld tuner, you can access some of the options here when requesting your tune. Some of those are going to be pretty important. Say your VIN sticker is no longer there on your truck, you can access your VIN right from this device. So some more important information as well. If we jump into that, there's device info and vehicle info, just like I said, and left to cancel. So there you have it, the 3 main menu options available on the Superchips Flashcal. We've already modified our tire size, adjusted our speedometer, corrected for that tire size change. What we're gonna do now is unplug this device, and we're gonna hop on to installing our throttle booster. All right, next install is gonna be for our amped throttle booster. Now, before we get started, what you wanna do is grab a flathead screwdriver, and we're gonna open up the casing. This is the module casing, the motherboard and chip are underneath. So on the edges here, grab a flathead screwdriver, you're gonna go inside and just pry up on both sides. That pops that loose, and you can take it out. We're gonna set this guy aside for right now, and I'm gonna quickly explain how this is going to work. Now, we have a harness included in the kit, and in the kit is your switch. Now, in some cases, you can purchase this without the switch, but because we have this, there's a couple of extra steps included. Right on the motherboard here is where we're gonna program it. There's a switch that has stock, low, and high. Now, low and high aren't really going to be relevant for the guys who are owning it with this switch included, because without the switch, these are the only 2 modes that you'd use, but with the switch, you have more. What we're gonna do is switch that down to stock. Now, once we have the wiring plugged in, we'll be able to click Learn Pedal and program this to teach the module the throttle positions in your pedal. I know that sounds confusing, but what we're gonna do is just set this down for right now. We're gonna have to take this harness, this end's gonna plug into that chip in just a bit. The other end, we're gonna unplug the throttle pedal sensor and plug it into here, and then we're gonna plug this into the factory throttle pedal sensor location. This is gonna go to your device, and then finally, the white harness is gonna plug in to the switch. So let's head under the dashboard, unplug the throttle pedal sensor, and plug this guy in. All right, so now that we're under the dashboard, we're gonna find our throttle pedal, follow it all the way up, and unplug this sensor harness. What you're gonna do is just pinch and disconnect it. Grab the harness included in the kit, the side that has the dual ends, and plug the factory harness into the corresponding harness included in the kit. So these 2 fit, plug that guy right in. That other end here with the red locking tab, this is gonna plug into that factory spot. So we're gonna bring this guy up and plug it in to what we just unplugged. Right there, drop that red locking tab. All right, now we can go back up. All right, so now before we go any further, what we're gonna do is program our chip here. We're gonna plug the harness in that we just plugged into the throttle sensor to the device by plugging in this gray connector. It'll snap right into place and lock in. From here, what we're gonna do is switch this from high or low to stock. All right, so once you switch this to stock and your key is in the ignition, but don't start your engine, you wanna turn the ignition on. Power will be solid, status will be blinking, and level will be off. We have to teach this device the throttle position. And what we're gonna do is press Learn Pedal, and for 15 seconds, we're gonna push in and out the gas pedal. After 15 seconds, status will blink and level will be solid. So let's press Learn Pedal, and we're gonna do this for 15 seconds until the LEDs change. All the way to the floor and back out. Perfect. Status is flashing, level turned off. Now what we can do is turn the ignition off. All right, so that's good to go. We can take our case and close her up. So now that we have that closed up, we programmed it, we can focus on connecting our switch because it's included in the kit. We're gonna take the white harness, our bracket, and our 3M. We're gonna take the 3M included in the kit. It says throttle sensitivity, it's more of just a logo. You can peel off that 3M backing, and what we're gonna do is throttle sensitivity facing forward, slide this over the switch, just so it's around the edge like that. Grab the bracket included in the kit, and we're going to install this straight through, just like this. Push it in, make sure throttle sensitivity is rotated correctly, and snap it into place. Now that you have your throttle switch mounted to the bracket, what you can do is take the white harness included in the kit and plug it in right to the back of this. It snaps right in place. Now at this point, you'll notice that the top of the bracket has 2 pre-drilled holes on it. That gives you the option to drill in and mount this bracket anywhere you want within arm's reach of the driver's seat. It gives you a lot of play with exactly where you want to put it. It's all personal preference. And for the sake of this video, because we're just going to be removing this, we're not going to be drilling into our dashboard. If you guys don't want to drill into yours either, which is totally understandable, the alternative will be to get some really good 3M automotive bonding tape and attach it to the top of this bracket. If you use that, adhesion promoter, and maybe some alcohol wipes and clean off an area that you'd like, say like right here, you can mount the switch right under the dashboard. And that's a pretty good location for it, there, somewhere on the side, maybe even on the other side, closer to the center console or the center stack. It's all personal preference. Some guys will even go as far as drilling a 1/2-inch hole and not using this bracket at all, and just mounting the switch flush up against the trim panel. Really, it's all personal preference. If you want to go that route, I'd say this is a good spot. You can run the harness up through it and plug it in from the back. It's really all personal preference again. So, because we're not going to be doing any drilling, that's just a good idea of where that would go. We're not going to mount this, but what we can mount is our entire module itself. There are zip ties included in the kit, several of them to be exact. What you can do is go right underneath the dash, find a good spot where there are a lot of wires being run, and zip tie the module back there. The big key with mounting your module is to make sure that it's not going to interfere with your brake pedal or your gas pedal. You don't want that thing falling down or getting in the way, prohibiting you from hitting that brake. It can be very dangerous. So wherever you do mount this, make sure it's nice and secure and tucked up into the dashboard. So that's what we're going to tackle next. All right, so what I'm going to do is just run a zip tie through these pre-drilled holes on the side here. I'm going to zip tie it right up above our OBD2, which is a pretty safe spot for it. Now with these excess wires, because we have several zip ties, you can go up there and zip tie those back. Perfect. Now again, with your switch, it's all up to you. You can run it straight up the steering column or wherever you see fit. Just make sure it's within arm's reach. All right, so we've got our switch. I ran that up through the steering column just to peek out here. What we're gonna do is just run through the menu real quick. With the switch, you have more options than you do without. Now, as you can see, there are no LEDs lit, which means we're in stock mode. It's gonna treat the vehicle as if nothing has changed. Press it one time and the LED all the way on the left is lit. That means you have a 50% throttle increase. One more time, 75% increase with LED number 2. For a third time, 100% increase. It's completely eliminating that delay. Your vehicle is really set up to have the most throttle response. Now, you can take that a little bit further. If you press and hold this button for 10 seconds, which I know sounds like a long time, but extreme mode will be activated. And extreme mode is gonna blink all 3 of the LEDs, as you see here. Extreme mode is a 400% throttle sensitivity increase. Extreme mode is really meant for off-road use, guys. You wanna be careful when using this on the road. It's definitely meant for off-road. And the reason you have to hold it for 10 seconds is it ensures that you can't accidentally activate extreme mode. If you press it one more time, it turns it off. Now there's one last mode to talk about, and it's a 5-second hold on the switch. Hold that for 5 seconds, all 3 will light up in a solid red. This is Valet mode, which decreases the sensitivity by 50%. It takes stock and cuts it in half. That way, if you hand the keys off to a valet, in a parking lot or whatever, you might not want to give them full access to all the throttle just to make it a little bit safer and give you more peace of mind. That's available on the sensitivity switch as well, which is going to come in handy for the most part. Now, another situation you may use valet mode is if you're teaching your kid how to drive. Maybe you don't want them having full throttle at first. Valet mode's a good one to give them just to get them, in the rhythm of driving the vehicle, especially a larger truck. So there you have it. There are a bunch of different modes here. If you hold that for another 5 seconds, valet mode will turn off. The reason you have to hold it for 5 seconds, unlike extreme mode, is if you hand this off to valet, you don't want them to easily be able to turn it off. All right, so there you have it. Stock, plus 50, plus 75, plus 100, hold it for 5 seconds for Valet, hold it for 10 seconds for Extreme. That's going to wrap up my review and install for the Superchips Flashcal and amped throttle booster performance package, available for the 08 to 12 4.7 and the 08 to 17 5.7 Ram 1500s. You can get yours right here at AmericanTrucks.com.